This is the Swipe Smart podcast. Join 80s babies Heather and Adam as they give perspective and share stories to help you navigate modern dating after 35. Welcome to Swipe Smart.
Welcome to another episode of Swipe Smart. I am your co-host, Heather.
And I am Adam.
On this episode and every episode, we just want to share stories and offer insight to modern dating after 35. We're here every week offering advice, giving insights, sharing funny stories. Sometimes we're going to get a little deep, and Swipe Smart because we want to give you the encouragement and as we all attempt modern love. So today on this episode, I really want to talk about the stigma of being on an online dating app. I think a lot of people feel judged when they talk about it.
You know what I was thinking about? So the very first time that I admitted to someone that I met someone online.
Okay.
Because now, honestly, and I don't know what this is like for you, and I don't know what it's like for you listening, but I will say there was a time where I was absolutely embarrassed, and I would joke about, all right, what's our story? We met at the grocery or whatever. And now
I've seen it in people's profiles.
I definitely don't think it's weird at all to say, oh, yeah, we met online, because it is, now that we're in 2024, which I will still say it still feels weird saying that, but now that we're in 2024, it is just not weird. It's not, and we're going to talk through that today. There
are so many people on dating apps.
I'm on like 5.
Yeah. Are you really?
So, okay, and we're going to go through one of my profiles later because I want to get your opinion. Oh. Okay. Absolutely. So here's the ones that I am aware of and have been on or on. If you're old school, you go with the Match.com. Match.com. I was on Match, and when they produced their app, wow, game changer. Really? Because Match was just on the computer. Just a website. It was just on the computer, and you had to go in and do your thing. Yes. But then once it was an app, I'm telling you, game changer. You could just look at your stuff and just have it on your phone. Okay, so there's Match. There is Tinder. There is, and I will say I don't like Bumble because I want control. And if a girl matches with me, I have to wait for her to make the first move.
I know. I have mixed feelings about Bumble.
I'm sure you like it because then you
mixed
truly
feelings
can.
About it.
Yeah, so there's
Bumble.
I
haven't been on it in a while.
Then there's Facebook dating, which all of a sudden I was on it. I truly didn't realize it because
profile just existed. It just popped up.
Kind of. Facebook is weird.
What?
It wants.
Do I need to check my settings? I don't have Facebook dating, so do I need to? Okay.
But I've met a couple from Facebook dating. Yeah. Then how many are we up to already? That's like 4. And then there's Hinge. You, Hinge is not terrible. It's not.
Yes, I'm on Hinge.
Atta girl.
And.
Okay, well that's 5. I already said 5.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's plenty.
That's plenty. Well, I'm gonna investigate your profile. Okay. Because I think not only is the stigma and the judgment that people have about admitting they're on online dating, I think it's dissipating a bit, but at the same time, there's been plenty of times where people are like, oh, where are we going to tell my parents? I've seen that on profiles too. So I'm just kind of like, I don't like that. I'm not crazy about that.
About lying in your profile saying, we'll lie and
how
say
are
we met at the
gym.
We met at the gym.
Yeah, we met at the gym. I was like, listen, I want to meet at the grocery store aisle too. But that's not reality.
Remember I taught you what a meet cute was?
Yes.
Okay, so let's break down real quick. This is funny. So I said something about a meet cute through text, and you're like, what's a meet cute? And I said, Heather.
Yeah.
A meet cute is, and here's what you need to do. If you remember watching The Office, which our listener is usually going to be over 35, so I would think you've watched The Office before in your life. Mm-hmm. I will say that when Charles Minor, played by, I'm saying this right, I think, Idris Elba. Okay. One of the most handsome, I will admit. Look at you, blushing.
Yes, he is.
Look at her color in her face, guys.
He's good looking.
Yes, fair. So he plays a character named Charles Minor, and he's a position of authority. Mm-hmm. And Kelly, the Indian girl, very Mindy sweet. Yes, very funny. So she goes on, and she goes into the camera and says, I'm going to have a meet cute. Watch this. And so she dresses all fancy. She waits for Charles Minor to get up. She walks towards him and drops something, takes off her glasses, bends over to pick up and go, oh, like that's a meet cute.
That's
and
almost
she
like
scheduled it.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
So that's what people want. They want a meet cute, like at the grocery. Oh, we were fighting over celery.
Yeah,
like,
no. That's cute. Like, I know I'm a weirdo when I say this, but I have not really watched The Office, like a couple episodes here and there. But
and that's fair.
That's why I didn't know what a meet cute is. So now I'm in the know. So yeah, of course we all would want a meet cute, but at the same time, you know, when was the first time? Like, how long ago did you actually admit to someone that you were like, oh, we met online? Because I wasn't comfortable enough to say that or talk about that up until, I would say, like 4 or 5 years ago. It's just something I kind of wouldn't reveal. But at the same time, I'm assuming most would know that I've been online dating. Like, that's how I've met a majority of the people I've dated. Not everybody, but
right.
You know.
Same for me.
So
10 years ago for me.
Yeah.
Was the first time that I told my roommate that I met this chick from, at that time, I truly don't remember if it was, 2013, good Lord.
Yeah.
I don't remember which.
Dinosaurs.
I don't remember if it was Match or whatever. I do know for a fact that it was an online app. And I met this girl and we went out to lunch or whatever. And then when I came home and he was just asking me what I did that day, I was like, oh, I met this chick online. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember that as not being all that weird, and neither did he. So it's been at least 10 years, I'd say. Now, not every time have I said
What
that.
about, like, your parents or family or people?
So here's the thing with my family. I don't introduce them until they're ready to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So they don't know.
They don't ever talk about it? People don't inquire?
You know, I guess
you don't have some nosy people in your family. It's inquired for all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess
people online just randomly message me, GM, are you dating anybody? Like, buzz off. I haven't talked to you, and like, not even family. Just like, who? What? Huh?
Yeah, I guess to be honest, I know this may sound weird, but I don't have that dynamic where they're just like we just celebrated Christmas not long ago.
Right.
That's not a thing at like Christmas. Like, oh, we thought maybe you'd bring someone to dinner.
Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't. I know that happens. People post about it all the time.
Yes.
And, you know, hashtag can't relate. Well, that's me. I can't relate to that. I get it. But luckily, I think my family just knows, like, if someone's going to be that important, they'll know about it.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that I bring up as a subject area of to talk about, but it's always brought up. Yeah. They're curious. I know it comes from a good place sometimes, but a lot of times it's just kind of like, oh, there's so much more interesting things I could be talking about right now. Too. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like when I'll bring a good egg around, and I'll bring him around. But until then,
now, what about you? Do you remember hearing from someone that they met someone online and you thinking, wow, you admitted that to me? Girl or a guy? Just want any of your friends?
No, not really with like my peers, I would say, or any like colleagues or anybody that I would just have conversations like that with, like friends. No, I don't think that was just kind of like if he or she was like, oh, I've never done online. I'm like, well, you should try it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was always encouraging or just like, check it out. Some people are just like, no, it's not what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. Or they've just hopped on and had like just a really terrible experience and or lackluster for that matter. And then they give up like a month or two later. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's just not for me. Like, you know, they're creating like an excuse. But for me, it's just like you have to step out of your comfort zone and really being able to just like be like, oh, yeah, I met him online, blah, blah, blah. You know, especially when I started dating like across state borders and lines and things like that. They're like, how the hell did you meet this guy from? I'm like, oh, yeah, well, we met online. So, yeah. So, for me, I even expand that, too. So, I don't know. Peers-wise, I can talk about it a bit more candidly. But especially, like, just, like, parents, parental figures, older generations, things like that. Just, like, sometimes I was kind of like, did I tell them? Because maybe because I know they have their own form and idea of what it is. And
so negative.
Oh, you're so negative, right? I remember one time when I was growing up, my brother's like 5th grade teacher like got married and met this woman online or whatever. And I just remember it was like kind of discussed at the dinner table or what have you, or it was mentioned or something. And it was the tone of like, well, that's kind of weird. And I think that kind of like stuck.
You feel bad.
Like kind of a shame sort of thing. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, 30 Paws is just kind of like unlearning and relearning like new patterns and what's going to be true and authentic to me. And like I online date. So like, fuck it. I don't care what, the more and more, I just don't care what other people really think because it's not their experience. So I think, if we can just kind of shed that shame or that like stigma of it being, it's not weird, and everybody doesn't. You're not a loser if you do it. That's what I just want to make sure. So it does turn me off when I see people in their profile saying like, oh, okay, well, where are we going to say we met? Or telling my mom we met at the golf course or whatever, some corny ass thing.
Right.
Not into it. I'm like,
it's almost when a girl does it, like obviously I only see girls' profiles. So to me, when I see girls do it, to me, they're trying to be almost like Kelly from The Office, where they're trying to force a meet cute. And in and of itself, that's not terrible because I do enjoy, I will say, I enjoy the girl to be the girl. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be girly, I am more than happy to accompany that notion. I like, as I will be the man, you be the girl. Like, mm-hmm. I'm okay, or the woman. Like, I'm good with that. I will open the door for you. I will, like, buy you flowers. I appreciate the girly aspect. So if that's what you want, I'm okay with it. But I do, in my head, like, I'm like, well, no, we don't have to lie. I could say that I met you online.
Yeah.
So if a guy says that, though, as you're seeing guys' profiles, are you a little bit like, what, are you ashamed of me? Is that kind of...
It's not that, like, ashamed of me. I don't take it personally whatsoever. It just, to me, is a really good read, and it's very telling after, reading their profile and things like that, that either they're just diving into it and they're not really comfortable with online dating quite yet. So to me, that's a sign of maybe lacking some experience with online dating.
Which doesn't make you excited to do it then, right?
Yeah, right. Because, I'm like, oh, okay. Or it's a telltale sign of like just having that person just shame and not really like living in their authentic like self.
Yeah.
And that is like, that's not what I want either, One of the biggest things that attracted me to this guy I'm talking to now is just in his profile, it just simply said, like, what is the most important, like, attribute or positive attribute you have within yourself? And he just said integrity. And I was like, love that. Like, that was so, like, short, sweet, to the point, but, like, yeah, finding quality people's values with integrity, it was so just simply said and put. And I was just like, yeah, what you say in your profile, crafting that date-worthy profile is major key to, I think, why people experience a lot of disappointment when online dating or seeing like, honey, you have to have a bomb profile for your algorithm to match up to other bomb profiles.
Yeah.
That's how this works. Like, this is an app. Like, this is a form of social media. There are algorithms to this because trust me when I say, like, if you change your location or if you are traveling and you see and you're like, oh my goodness, like completely different, and you're not like stuck in maybe your own little area and you're just like, God, this is so pathetic. If I see one more fish up in the air,
One more fish,
yeah. It's like, woo, enough, So that is where that frustration lies, and that's why I see it. Don't be ashamed of being a person who goes on websites or like apps to find love. Everybody is here to find connection. That is the human experience. So we're not like, we don't do this individually. We don't do it alone for a reason. So that's the whole truth of the matter is everybody is out there looking for a connection. And when you get more specific about the kind of connection you are looking for and more moving it more intentionally and doing that, you're going to get what you want.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's just how that works. That's the formula.
So let me ask you something. What would you say? This could be twofold because it could be advice for the ladies and for the guys. Mm-hmm. But what I was thinking through was some advice of, as a woman, what you are looking for in guys' profiles. And the way that you can answer this is to say what women should be. So if you're a woman and you're listening to this, this could be some advice on what you should be looking for. Mm-hmm. If you're a male listening to this, then pay attention. And if your profile does not have some of the following things, then you can look to maybe change it. So does that make sense where it's kind of a twofer?
It is a twofer, but also, there can be two truths, to the whole ideology of that too.
Yeah.
So it's just, you have to create exactly what you want to attract into your life. Mm. And so creating things like a date-worthy profile and really showcasing that is putting out that energy, because it's all energy, and I don't want to get too woo-woo on people, but it is true. It's all energy. And so if you're putting that out there, if you're being thoughtful and intentional about creating a bomb profile, it's just going to come right back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the fact of the matter. So I think the very first thing everybody needs to do when creating it is making sure they're being themselves. Be 100% yourself. I think that is the kindest and most clearest way you can show up online. Authenticity is attractive too, right? And everything doesn't have to be your cup of tea. And if it's not, that's why we swipe left and not right. Okay. And that's fine. There's some dingers and there's some crazy profiles and things that, it's all subjective. But being genuine in your profile, sharing your true self, choosing prompts that really reflect unique personality traits that you have, things that you really like about yourself. And if you can't even figure that out, then this is a way deeper issue.
Right.
And I'm serious about that.
That's a different show.
That's a different show. No, yeah, I'm very serious about that because that is showing up in your true, authentic, love of thyself. You know what I mean? So you need to really think about that. And sometimes, I have talked to women and men who don't feel like they are worthy of even that, showing up as that. So I think that's super important. Authenticity is so attractive.
I feel like they sabotage themselves and they build the profile. It's not really authentic. They're just going through the motions. They even have a match. They even have good banter enough to warrant a first date, but they're so far behind on their true self that then it's like, oh my gosh, it's such a disappointment for that other person. And then they don't have the foresight to see or to say to themselves, oh, it was me. I wasn't projecting the proper amount of, you know what I mean? And then they just say, oh, that girl or that guy, whoever the person was, it was on them. Mm-hmm. When no, you were sabotaging yourself, and you may not even notice it,
Right.
So, okay, then do you want to go through, can we pick one of my profiles then?
I'm ready.
I don't know. Okay,
I'm ready.
So if you are, this is a good time to tell you guys as well, because if you are watching on YouTube, you will see this profile. But if you are catching on Spotify as well, it shows the video as well. Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the podcast, and you hit the notification bell if you are following on the YouTube page, Swipe Smart, because what we are trying to do is build community and build up a show where we can have guests. Right now, as we're just starting and you guys are getting to know us, we're not having that many, but obviously the point is to have guests and to have extremely, extremely high profile guests. Now, let me ask you a question, Heather. Mm-hmm. How many guests of the caliber that we want do you think we're going to have if we have 7 followers? How
many
guests?
Not very many.
Not very many. So what we're trying to do is build this up, guys, So if you have found value in any of this so far, make sure that you are liking and subscribing and sharing with your single friends. Now, speaking of that as well, the link in the show notes, you will see Heather's masterclass, and the show is sponsored by her other show. Why don't you talk a little bit, while we pull up the profile, talk a little bit about 30 Paws and where people can find the masterclass.
Absolutely. So it's all under my brand, 30 Paws, which you can go to 30paws.com and work with me. So coming this February, I haven't had like a nail down a date quite yet, but I'm going to start opening enrollments for another Swipe Smart Love Hard Masterclass. And that is an opportunity for you to be in a smaller group, but really joining me virtually we can do one-on-one sessions too, but on the masterclass, it's everybody's in there, and I'm just going to give everyone the lowdown of how you can use these tactics and strategies of swiping smarter, and it's so much fun. I had a ball when I did it last time, so I'd love to have even more people join. And you don't have to do it live, but at the same time, you will get a recording once you've registered and you've signed up. So I'm excited. Small group, big group. I'm excited to have it all. Like, we're going to continue to work this out because this is like a muscle. Dating is like a muscle. You have to keep flexing it in order to feel like you're good at it, feel like you're confident at it. And so the masterclass can help you flex that muscle even more, pivot some perspective, break up some patterns, all that good jazz. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Yes. So remember, the link is in the show notes. So, okay. Now, if you are watching, again, the video is presented on Spotify and YouTube. And if you look right here, so here is my profile. So there's me, Adam, 42, about to be 43. And
holy smokes.
I'm 80%.
80% complete. What's that about? You're 80% complete?
So I will.
Why didn't you build that up?
Well, would you
to
like
100%?
Would you like the answer?
Yeah.
Well, because I put the L in lazy.
Okay.
I will admit that, I haven't even gone through to really see. There's probably some more questions that I can answer about myself.
So
or
I
whatever.
just want you to be very clear. I haven't been on Tinder in years, so I'm sure it has the same kind of interface as a lot of the other dating apps, but what I see thus far, nobody's going to know whether your profile is 80% complete. This is just you.
Right. I'm sharing it with y'all.
Yes, got it.
No,
okay.
that's fair. But you will be able to see, to be honest.
Yes, but we'll see what that 80%. Okay, we'll see.
There's not much.
Moving on.
So there's,
Okay. So that's a blurry picture. And for me, choosing the right photo is high key. Is that a bad photo? No. It's an action shot probably. Is it still from you shooting a show? This is a podcast.
So I'll be honest. Here's what I tried to do. Okay. I tried to get cute and only blur the non-face. So everything is blurry except for my face. Now, you might not be able to tell perfectly, but that was the goal. I have an app that can make things blurry. So that is an Office t-shirt. That's what she said, but that's what, and it's said by she. Get it? So that's what she said. So that's that t-shirt, but it's blurred to enunciate, if you will, my face.
Okay, got it.
Now, I do understand what you're saying. I wholeheartedly do not
selecting
disagree.
high quality photos, but not blurring your actual t-shirt and the microphone and thing, and maybe just doing just the back and just blurring the back so that you're the main focus. I do that a lot of times if I'm on the beach or I have a picture of in a crowded city. It's I don't want to see this Tom, Dick, or Harry over here. I want the focus to still be on me, but I still want to be an authentic photo, and that's okay. Just because you are editing a photo for a dating profile, also that doesn't make you lame. You want to showcase again, and you're showing that you're putting in effort. Yeah. And that's what I see right here. That would just be my pro tip. And also always crop, because this is a screenshot, right? Oh, that's a screenshot from what you show. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a high key tip though, because when you have a picture and then we expand it and we can tell it was a screenshot from something to something, it's just sloppy in my opinion.
Yeah. So I will say that part is only because that it was from the phone.
Yeah.
The real picture. But great point.
Yes,
great
it
point
is sloppy, and I noticed that a lot. Okay, so let's continue. Verified, boom, very important when you're on dating apps. Don't mess with people who aren't verified. And if you're talking to someone who isn't quite verified, I always make like a cheeky little reference, like, "Oh, okay, well, I'd love to continue this conversation if I know you're not catfishing me or something," because that's very common, and obviously that MTV show blew the concept all the way up.
I've been catfished.
So yeah, exactly. 100%. So we have like obviously precautions we need to make sure that we are actually talking to that person. So verify your account, mega important. So kudos to you on that.
Okay.
Your About Me section, are you a cat person or a dog person? That has nothing to do about you.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So that is you put the capital L in lazy right there.
Right. And I'm fully admitting it. I knew we were doing this, yes. And I wanted to be authentic and not change it.
How often do you show up on Tinder?
I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Okay, so if this is not an app I don't think it's really necessary to be on 5 dating apps. Well, I think maybe 2, because then you're
lean into the
2. Like you're giving yourself. It's like a Cheesecake Factory menu. Too many options.
Oh man!
When you have too many options and too much, it's too much.
Did you know?
So narrow it down.
Did you know that Cheesecake Factory it's called Adam's Cheesecake?
Okay,
it's called Adam.
I would love a slice of the Adam cheesecake.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Oh God. The actual cheesecake. Okay, so right when I came out of my mouth, I was like, fucking A.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I mean, you did it.
Yeah, right. I know. I stepped right into it. Okay, so obviously, I think because you're showing us you don't really care, you put the capital L in lazy, and like that's not even about me. So, are you a cat person or a dog person?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's lame. We don't like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean my multiple personalities in my head. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
For most ladies, you could say.
All right. Relationship goals, long-term partner. I think it's really important to really be clear on what you're looking at, because I can swipe through a really awesome profile and like very, fun personality showcasing through bios and prompts and questions and things like that. And then if they're just like, short term or, no strings attached, which is NSA, then it's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, that doesn't really align with me. Or if you are just looking to do that, then boom, that makes sense. And I don't want to be messing with someone who wants like to get married right now, because I don't really want to get married right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what are your intentions, your relationship goals, and setting that up? That is like mega, mega important. So that is all a part of crafting that engaging bio section. That is really, really important. That's helping you get a really date-worthy, high-value profile. People are going to want to really swipe right with that.
So here's what I'd like ladies to do. Email at swipesmartpodcast@gmail.com.
Correct.
I'll give you my login to Tinder.
Jesus,
Can you?
No. No, you are doing this yourself.
Jesus, take the wheel.
No.
I just don't like.
But
I don't disagree with a single thing. And
on your dating profile, you can screenshot your dating profile to me with discrepancy and privacy, of course.
Yeah, you can X out whatever.
Yeah, and we can give you that feedback, and we can, help you, and then be like, you know what, if you want a little bit more, probably should be in the masterclass.
Right. But swipesmartpodcast@gmail.com. Always hit us up.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you think about the show. You can send your profiles.
Send your profiles in.
After we laugh at them, we will help you. I'm kidding.
Stop it.
Okay. Yeah, we're never gonna get an email now. Yeah. They're all gonna laugh at you.
He's a bully. No, yeah, but in all seriousness, like I can really help you.
We really would love to help.
Yeah, because this, if it's anything looking anything like this, like yours, then they need Swipe Smart.
Completely fair.
They need to Swipe Smart, love hard. They need the masterclass. They need more of this content. So moving on. Make sure you are always defining what your relationship goals, because that is your intention. Okay. That's very important. Photo.
Now, what a quinky dink that I'm
You're
literally.
The same.
Yeah.
You're
Now,
the same.
Now, I will say too, another good segue.
Mm-hmm.
That was taken after I won a November. So that's a couple months old.
Mm-hmm.
I won a November challenge. I just lost 40 pounds.
Cool.
And still going. And
Love that.
one of our sponsors that you're aware of is from Just Trains, and you can get 10% off if you mention our podcast. And so shout out to Just Trains. The link is in the show notes. But I took that picture and just thought that I didn't look
Did you
terrible.
add a caption to that picture?
No.
Now, what would make that picture even better is if you added the caption and be like, right after I just won this challenge, because now I know that, boom, this person is about improving his life. This person is about making sure he's putting himself first. That is proving to me, oh, okay.
Goals.
Okay, because now I see, okay, well, that's not a terrible picture of you, but do I think that's the greatest picture of you? No. But then when you give me that caption of your backstory
like,
and
cool.
knowing, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, hell yeah, brother. Like,
so let me ask you a question. Because the reason why I didn't think anything more of it is because I have heard that, like, it's kind of a douchebag thing to put something braggy like that, or like gym selfie. What do you think?
It is a dating profile. Like, rep your highlights. This is what's great about me. Like, this is what I like about myself. This is things to be proud of. So if
show
people
your muscles,
think I don't think that I particularly really like shirtless photos or bathroom selfies. But if someone's really proud of it, okay, and then let me see how the content is. Let me see what he's writing. Let me see the captions. Let me see this. Let me see that. Because
so you would swipe right on a muscle-bound guy showing off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
this is good.
I would if the rest of it, it's got to be 80% solid. Like, you have to think of it like this. There's like a 3-strike system, and this is how I date too, and how I know that it's time to move on and be done with a relationship, is because it's just obviously extended a little bit more and with more grace because I know the person once I'm in the relationship, right? And it's not like, oh, this is hard, I'm quitting. It's not that. It's just simply like, oh, okay, well, don't like that, but okay, cool. You need to understand, like, this is an 80-20 ratio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to find Mr. Perfect and things like that. Do I think your little bathroom selfie in the mirror was a little douchey? Yeah, but I like everything else I'm reading, and you seem fun, and, like, I'll swipe right. Let's see where the conversation goes.
So
do the conversations get douchey and then I don't like them? Yeah, sometimes. Well, yeah. And then sometimes I'm like, now I'm dating this meathead. Cool.
But so overall, you're saying, don't post that pic then.
What do you mean don't post that pic?
You're swiping right in spite of that pic, which means you don't want it there. That's a douchebag thing.
It's their profile. It's not mine.
I know, but what I'm saying is you prefer if that wasn't in their profile. You're swiping right in spite of that thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's just, but do I like a guy with a hot body? Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But
so it's
don't
like,
show it off in a dating profile.
It doesn't have to be the profile picture. It doesn't have to be the main picture.
Okay.
People can put, people are at the beach, like, people are living their lives. If that's a part of their lives and they're on the boat, they're at the lake, whatever, like, that's part of their life. It's like, okay, you have a shot of you with friends on a boat. Like, cool. I like to go boating. I like to be on, with friends. Like, That's one thing. If there's like a gym selfie, but I see, like, he's attractive, he's got muscles, like, okay. The shirtless selfie, I'm like, okay. Don't mind it, but do we like, you know what I mean?
But do we need it in the profile?
But do we need it in the profile? So circling back, this picture, it would have meant a lot more and have gotten a lot more if you just put in your highlight of the day, because it's an okay picture of you, Adam. It's really not that great, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's, now if I read that caption, I'd be like, oh, well, that's cool. I love that. Because then it gives me so much more insight about you. Okay.
And I didn't want to be douchebag, and that's why I didn't. But
I don't think you need to create a dating profile and whether you're like, oh, that's douchey. Because I could say a lot of things that could probably come off douchey. But like, then they're not for you. Yeah. Then I'm not for you. And it's all subjective.
No, and that's why we're doing this show. Like,
totally.
So
this is you in action. Are you coaching?
Yep.
Okay. So that gives me an idea of like, okay, cool. He coaches. It looks like it's sports. It needs a caption. You know what I mean? Like, throwback to my coaching days, blah, blah, blah. Like, it could be something as short and sweet, but again, the captions and things we need to know because captions create your personality. We are building a personality. You have to understand and think that, like, women, for men specifically, okay, this advice is for, like, hetero women looking for men, okay? When we look at you and it's like, it's like how I used to tell my students when I was teaching, but I'm not comparing kids to men. I'm just saying. I said everybody here starts with an A. Everybody starts at 100%. And then I'm going to see and reveal how well and how hard you work and how well you do for you to maintain that 100% A. Or if you're going to be going down to a B, anything past a DF level, I'm not, no, it's not passing.
Yeah.
And the C, and that's my 3-strike system, and that's what I'm saying in regards to just someone's profile. And then when I get into a relationship too, it's kind of like that ideology, And so that's just really, really important. Showcasing your hobbies, your passions. Are you passionate? I'm sure at one time. I don't know if you do it now. Do you?
Yeah, not so much.
Not
anymore.
so much now, but I'm sure when you were in it,
back into it.
totally.
Yeah,
so that to me, that's like boom. This is. I'd love to get back into coaching. A throwback to me coaching. I'm passionate about it. Attracting maybe someone who is like-minded and who's like, oh, I'm a mentor. Or I work with youth at this.
Right. Big
like
brothers,
how
big sisters,
freaking rad is that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like people are understanding. Like boom, I like to get out in the community and like and bring value to my community too.
Yeah.
That showcases how of a high value man you are. Right? So showcasing hobbies, passions, super engaging profiles, it's really, really important. This just tells me that you like red shoes and the 49ers. It doesn't really offer me that much else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe you at a 49ers game. I would have loved that.
I have pictures
I'm
of those,
sure.
yeah.
I'm sure. Just in the studio, San Francisco, love hitting up the Bay. That's where I'm from. Da-da-da-da.
Yep. Love going
Boom,
to games,
because now I know I'm getting to know more of your personality, not just from your props, but from your pictures. That's why captions are
What
important.
my thought was I wanted to show like, hey, how here's my thought process. You tell me what you think. My thought process immediately goes to what is a lazy Sunday look like? Like people are busy through the week. What do weekends look like? What does a possible Sunday fun day? Is it with family? Is it with, and this was my idea of, hey, this is you sitting next to me. This is what Sunday could look like. Now, I get that it wasn't portrayed maybe the best way ever.
No.
But that was my thought is like, hey, I'm into sports and Sundays would be, I would love for you to sit and watch the game with me or whatever.
But there's plenty of prompts now on apps when you are enhancing more of your about me and the prompts and things like that section. It's like, what do your Sundays look like? You know what I mean?
There are those, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like sleeping in, laundry, football, B-dubs, whatever you guys like to do. You know what I mean? Like put that in there and show 'em.
Grunting noises.
Yeah, I'm like, honey, I'm like sleeping in, brunch.
Mimosas.
Like
girl.
that would be a lovely, not every Sunday, but I like to do that on Sundays. I like to, have just lazy Sundays. Everybody does,
Get it in.
Okay. Next one. What is Dub Nation?
Again, a sports thing. So the Golden State Warriors is my basketball team.
This is not a good picture, and let me tell you why. You have a filter on here that is not doing your face any actual enhancement.
Yeah.
So I only say use a filter that's actually going to enhance, but not like disguise. I feel like this really kind of disguises you. And it has your sunglasses on too. And like Golden State Warriors, I didn't know that. So I knew it was basketball, but I was like Dub Nation.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know you're a sports guy. So maybe show another you at a basketball game, you at, what have you, and kind of giving
playing
us
softball or
totally. So we know we move on. Now this is a trick.
Make them laugh.
Halloween?
You got to make them laugh.
This is okay. And what is this character?
Okay, see, I will, Heather.
I know it, but like just refresh my mind.
Okay, you need me to tell you the name of the character and then you'll be good, you think?
Yeah.
Bane from Batman.
Yes.
Okay, that's Tom Hardy in that costume.
Yes. Okay.
Like, now, I feel like most women know that character.
No, I know. Like, I'm saying, like, I know what that looks like, but it's like I can't remember the last time I watched Batman. It's not going to be, like, high on my mind.
No, that's fair. Yeah. But, like...
Got it. Tom Hardy, Bane. Is this Halloween for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Great. Showcases the fact that you like to dress up, you like to go out, Halloween.
It showcases that I nailed it. Can we... Come on.
Like, like, how did you get this?
I don't remember. I honestly.
Where did you get the mask?
Well, that was like Amazon. You can just type in Bane mask for $11.
Got it.
But the coat, bro?
Yeah.
The coat is like baller.
You did that.
Yeah.
You did that. You did that.
I was proud of that costume.
When was this?
That wasn't last Halloween. It was the one before.
Okay. All right. And then this one, I like you're, again, at the mic. This is a little fun little edit.
Yeah.
You have a Padres.
Giants.
Giants, sorry.
Is San Francisco, yeah.
Yes, sorry, my bad. Sports ball.
Sports ball, hooray.
So, yes,
touchdown.
Giants.
Because they scored touchdowns, yeah.
So I don't like love this. I think there could probably be a even better picture of you, but it also like not terrible. It suffices. Sounds like either I could tell and I would know more about you if you're a dog or a cat person in your bio, but I would know more of like, oh, okay, is this his career? Like, what does he do?
Like, is he on the radio?
Is this like, yeah. But again, showcasing your hobbies, your passions, things like that. That's great because you're doing that. You're showing them this is what I do by day. This is, my passion, what have you.
Yeah.
So going over crafting a date-worthy profile is authenticity is attractive. Okay. Choose the right photos. Okay. Photos are everything, and make sure you're adding captions and make sure they're clear, well lit. They highlight your personalities, your interests. You have at least one solo picture. Stop putting a bunch of people in your dating profile.
And let me say this. Stop putting a group photo as your profile.
And then I can't figure out who you are.
Like,
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Because you know what? 9 times out of 10, I like your friend and not you. And I'm like, God damn it. Right. It's the wrong guy. Of course the hot friend is married. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't do that. Okay.
One thing that I appreciate is when women have pictures with kids and they say my nephew. No.
Oh, no, I don't want any kids on the dating profile.
They say my nephew. I can appreciate that if they don't have kids and they're like the little sweet boy is my nephew. I can appreciate that they're trying to convey like, hey, not that having kids is wrong or bad at all, but I do appreciate.
I have a very strong ideology.
And you're saying no kids?
About kids on dating profiles.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Stop putting kids on dating profiles.
Because there are weirdos.
It is weird, and the amount of craziness that happens on the internet and bots that are out there. If you have kids, mention it and be clear and direct in your profile. Have kids, want more. Have kids, undecided. Don't have kids, don't want any kids. Yeah. Put all of that stuff in there and keep your mother effing kids out of your dating profile. Because I put myself in the other parent's shoe, and if I knew my ex or this person that I had a child with had our child on their dating profile, I would be livid.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would be
I don't think through things like that.
Absolutely livid. So that is just like, it's a privacy thing. And if you have, I've seen tons of profiles where they just blacked out the face. That's fine. Blur out the face. Put a little emoji over the face. Because that shows me like you like to do fun things with your kids, and that's really important to you. And I respect that. But don't put them on a public forum on a profile, and it's not their permission.
Right.
You do not get that child's permission. I have a very big thing about kids on the internet too, but that's neither here nor there. But when it comes to dating profiles, okay, that's just like a hard stop.
Yeah.
We got to stop doing that. And it's not attractive, ladies and gents. It's really not. It's really, really not. So showcasing hobbies and passions, really important. And crafting engaging bios, bios that spark curiosity, bios that make prompts conversation. Have fun with it. And if you're reading this, send me your favorite movie, 90s movie growing up as a kid.
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I really like him, and like, cool, I can say like, freaking Three Ninjas. I was Tum Tum all the way, send. Like, and like that was like, that's perfect, like be crafty, be witty, be yourself, and when you are talking about those profiles. And then of course keep it positive. Positivity, it's so attractive. Show it in your profile and your interactions. There are so many profiles I have gone through in these past few years where people are so just negative and bitter and jaded a little bit, like as if nobody's ever gonna message me back on here anyways. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, like chill out,
like,
dude.
You're
like
right.
You're right. I'm not with that attitude. Like, yeah. So review your profile for any negative language, replace it with a positive twist. Just make sure it's just, like you can show sarcasm and still not be a dick about
and
it.
You can also show that you've been through stuff and still be positive.
Like we're all over 35. Like,
I've been through some stuff, but I'm pushing on and I'm ready to find the right person for me.
Yeah,
I'm ready to find my person or to find my best friend or whatever.
Totally. Exactly. So that to me, having a date-worthy profile, those are the key things to really make it pop and make it worthy. Thank you Adam for showing us your lackluster Tinder profile. And I know you're gonna do better. And maybe you just need to like deactivate your Tinder altogether, because remember, consolidating. Think a tapas restaurant and not a Cheesecake Factory menu.
I gotta figure out which one.
And do the ones that you find most successful. Facebook dating, I hear people are really hitting it off on Facebook dating. I've had 2 people very close to me who are like, I had no idea. And I was like, listen, don't knock it till you try it. And if it works for you, but I say be on no more than 2. Honestly, because now you're consuming yourself. You think you're casting this wider net, but what you're doing is just being bombarded by all of these options and not really focusing or giving a poop about one or the other. Your focus is scattered, and it needs to be more contained.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I do need to think about doing that. I feel like Hinge and Facebook dating, if I were to give my opinion on my 2, I would probably say Hinge.
I think right now those are the most used that I've been hearing as of late, relevantly speaking, for the past like 3-4 months.
I've had good experiences, like, and I guess I'll qualify and say good, where I had a first date and it was positive. From there, if things go sour or like whatever, that's like, okay, you just weren't made for each other. But like a good first date, good banter, a lot of laughing, excited for a second date. Absolutely. That is pretty successful at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay, you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've had really good experiences on Facebook dating and Hinge as far as that goes, I would say. Mm-hmm. So, I really learned a lot. Remember, again, guys, too, that we're trying to grow this thing. So make sure you like and subscribe so that we can build the channel, build the community, so that we can bring you top-notch level guests that would really bring you the most value. So it really helps you when you like and subscribe. It's not for us. Like, it's crazy. Like, we're already professional podcasters. Mm-hmm. We actually already, without this show, get paid to podcast. I know that kind of sounds crazy, but so we're not doing it for us. Like, this is to help you guys, and we just are great friends, and we have a blast doing it. So, again, thank you, those of you giving us the positive feedback, and we're excited to keep going through this journey with you guys.
Heck yeah. Check out all the show notes for all the things that we reference, and especially, send your profiles our way. Be sure to check out the masterclass offering that's going to be dropping in February. And yeah, thanks so much for listening.
Yep. So we will see you as always every Monday and Thursday on the Swipe Smart podcast.
Whoop, whoop.